What's up, ladies and gents, Ghost here, back with some more Battlefield 4 news. Today we're going to be discussing field upgrades and exactly how they're going to work in Battlefield 4 and some of the controversies behind some of the new released perks. Before I get into that, I would quickly like to mention that during the entire Gamescom weekend, so that is going to be from today, 20th of August, through the 25th of August, there is going to be double XP for Battlefield 3. So if you haven't yet hit Kernel 100 like myself, I'm definitely going to be jumping on some servers and trying to rack up those kills. And to be honest, the amount of new players in the game doubled with the XP bonus is going to make getting some points quite easy, I feel. So if you're not Kernel level 100, then get going. Right, so on to the field upgrades, or the bro bar as DICE are so cutely calling it over at their headquarters. I'm not sure how that word bro gets like into every single word on the internet. It seems to be a craze going on there. Anywho, so the way this is going to work in Battlefield 4 is no longer do you have stacking squad perks. You now select a squad perk tree, essentially. To work your way up through that tree and unlock the perks, you have to accomplish objectives within the squad. So you will start off with the base level and you can never lose that. So say sprint is the first perk, you will always have sprint. However, to unlock the second, third and fourth perks, you will have to accomplish those objectives within your squad, charge up the bar, and as you do, you will unlock the various perks. However, if your squad wipes entirely, you will lose all the perks and you'll be back to square one and you'll just have sprint again. So that's going to make being the last man standing that much more important. In the latest blog post from DICE, they have just released what a lot of these perks are going to be, how the perk trees are going to be structured, and what they're saying is for each class you're going to have 4 different perk trees that you can select. Now 2 of these trees are going to be class specific and 2 of them are going to be universal. Right, so the first 2 trees are the ones we saw at E3. I'm not sure if they've actually changed the perks around since it was aired. I don't really remember what the perks were in E3, but one tree is offensive and one tree is defensive. So for the offensive tree, you start out with sprint, and then you go through ammo, more grenades, and reduced fall. Now all of these perks are the same in Battlefield 4 as they were in Battlefield 3, with the exception of course of reduced fall, which is going to mildly reduce your fall damage. So you can't just jump off the skyscraper in Siege of Shanghai and sort of expect to land on the floor and be fine. You know, it's only really from a sort of medium-ish height. So maybe if you jump off a medium height, maybe a 2-story floor, and you would take 50 damage, maybe now you'll only take 25 damage, or maybe you take no damage, but it's not going to really reduce your full damage from any great height. Meanwhile, if you decide to go with the defensive path, you will start off with armor, you will then gain cover, followed by flak, and finally quick regen. So cover and flak we've seen before, and they're currently in Battlefield 3, and I believe they will be functioning much the same in Battlefield 4. However, quick regen and armor have been points of controversy since DICE actually released this block. Now, quick regen isn't going to be as good as it sounds. It's not going to increase your health regen rate, not like a medkit or something. It's simply going to reduce the amount of time you have to wait before that automatic health regen kicks in. So that will be, I don't know, 1 or perhaps 2 seconds less. So not a huge deal. However, armor, especially as it is the starting perk for the defensive tree, so you're always going to have this perk even if your squad wipes, has been the center of a lot of controversy. I think a lot of people thought it would be like in Bad Company, where it simply gives you a buff to your base health. However, DICE have replied to the community and they have elaborated on just how it's going to be. So I'm going to quote a little bit from what they say here. So they say, "It does not increase your overall health. Instead, it makes the small upper chest hitbox more resilient to damage, equal to the rest of the body. In practice, this means that snipers can't one-hit kill your upper chest at point-blank ranges. It also provides some small protection from shotgun burst damage. Through your head, legs and arms and stomach remain unprotected. At medium and longer ranges, the armor has no effect on how many bullets it takes to kill a player. Essentially, body armor is for countering CQB sniper rifles and not much else." So I really like this choice by DICE. First of all, that they've actually responded to the community's concerns and they've put everybody's minds to rest explaining this perk that it's not going to be completely OP. But they've also, at the same time, managed to counteract those shotguns and the sniper rifles. I know a lot of you guys out there get really pissed off by being one-shotted by shotguns and snipers, and now you have something to retaliate with. You can put on the armor perk or run with that specific tree that is to say the defensive tree, and then you will always have the armor perk, and you don't need to worry about that. But at the same time, not everybody is going to have that perk. So for those guys who like to run around with shotguns, the people who like to run with bolt action snipers and like that one-shot kill range at shorter ranges, they're still going to get the chance to do that as well. So it turns out that everybody should be happy. So as I mentioned before, there is also going to be 2 class-specific trees that you can select from, and DICE don't actually tell us which perks you're going to get in which tree, but they do tell us the names of the trees for 2 of the classes. So for the Assault class, you're going to get the Medic tree and the Grenadier tree, and although they don't tell us the actual perks for that, you can pretty much figure out what they're going to be about. For the Engineer, you can go with either a Mechanic or an Anti-Tank Soldier. So the Anti-Tank Soldier obviously is going to be about taking out vehicles, and the Mechanic is probably going to be more about repairing vehicles and driving them and such. So DICE have actually gone and put the entire list of perks in this blog post for us to see. I'm not sure if this is the final list, most likely not. They may add or subtract perks to or from this list respectively in the future, so this isn't anything final, but I'll link this blog post down below in the video description so you guys can go and check it out yourself, because I'm not going to name every single perk and what it does. Some of the perks are old, but the majority of them are new, and I'm just going to roll off a few of them here that interest me and you know, sort of grab my attention. Okay, so the first of this is 3 called Medical Unit, Supply Unit and Repair Unit. And what Medical Unit does, it says here, is occupied vehicles will slowly heal nearby soldiers. Supply Unit, occupied vehicles will slowly resupply nearby soldiers. And Repair Unit, occupied vehicles will slowly repair nearby vehicles. So I'm guessing that those are going to be perks attainable by playing the Mechanic Engineer role. That's really cool that you can actually heal nearby soldiers when you're inside a tank, so I really like those perks there coming from DICE. Another one here is Motion Sensors Upgrade, increases the maximum inventory of motion sensors, increases the range of tugs and MAV. So I think that motion sensing as recon is going to be much more of a big thing. I'm guessing the 2 recon perk trees, one is going to be situated around long range sniping, and the other is going to be more around sort of up close and personal, using C4, using motion sensors. And of course we're getting those good old motion balls back from the Bad Company days, which are so goddamn OP. I'm really looking forward to playing some aggressive recon in Battlefield 4. Fast Repair increases speed and sabotage of repairs, so that's giving those Mechanic Engineers a little bit of an advantage over the guys who go with the Anti-Tank perk tree. And similarly here we have Defib Upgrade, increases charge up speed of the defibrillators, so no longer are you going to be able to spam the defib on people and res as many people as you like. You're going to have to charge them up, and again this is going to make those assault players who pick this sort of medic skill tree, it's going to give them an advantage over the guys who go with the Grenadier skill tree. So a few more interesting ones here, Advanced Spot and Quick Unspot. Quick Unspot reduces time that you are spotted, so that may be something that recon players go for who are trying to be a little bit stealthy, especially those snipers off in the distance. And Advanced Spot increases time your targets are spotted. So obviously DICE trying to do a lot here with the spot mechanics. It's no longer going to be something spammable. You're going to have to pick your moments, and these perks are going to work their way into that system extremely well. So here's one more perk that a lot of people freaked out about again, and DICE decided to respond to them, and that is Stealth. So a lot of people, I think, heard Stealth and they were like, oh my god, it's just going to be like in COD, you will be literally invisible on the minimap. It's not going to be like that. The difference is that normal players who are crouching or prone will also be invisible on motion sensors. However, players running Stealth will also be invisible whilst moving at normal speed, but all players will be visible on motion sensors while they are sprinting. And on top of that, you're still able to be spotted, and of course players are still able to just see you normally within the game. So it is, you know, a little bit of a helping hand to be able to play in a stealthier manner, but it's hardly going to make you invisible. And they've also stated that this perk is only going to be available for the Recon class, so you don't have to worry about those assault players with their M16s or whatever sort of creeping up behind you like a ninja. Right guys, so that's about all I've got for you for today. I'm going to be tuning into Gamescom later on in, what time is it? Ooh, in about 3 hours time. So hopefully by the time you watch this video, you won't have missed Gamescom either, and you can tune in yourselves. One other little thing to mention is some people zoomed in on a picture that they took of all the monitors at Gamescom, and they zoomed in on one of the monitors and sort of saw the outline of like an island surrounded by water, and a lot of people are speculating that that is the map for Gamescom. It really wouldn't surprise me if it is, because as we already know, DICE are concentrating on water play in Battlefield 4 much more than they did in Battlefield 3, so maybe that's what we're going to see. It's going to be sort of boat gameplay from island to island, maybe a jet flying around overhead. That would be pretty awesome. Anyway, I guess we'll find out soon enough. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please can you do me a favour, like the video down below, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.